What's poppin', beautiful people up in YouTube land? I put the 3NG value, feel me? In this vid right here, 7 rappers who lied about their past. Now, we see Rick Ross on there. He definitely lied. He portrayed his whole gimmick, his whole career off of a real street lord, drug lord. It's a few people. I see that was Eminem too. I don't know, but let's see what everybody
Seven
who's on
rappers
this.
who lied about their past. Rap is one of the youngest musical genres in the United States. The genre was born in the late 70s and rose to national prominence in the early to mid 80s, when groups like NWA used the art form to shed light on the black experience in America and the often harsh
Dr. Dre was
realities
like a
of
dancer or some shit
disenfranchised
back in the day.
communities. The rise in popularity of conscious rap, as well as the autobiographical and highly personal perspective of most rap songs, led to an
Tupac
emphasis
wasn't
on
even gangster.
authenticity in rap music. Artists with
He was like a
verifiable
poet and
pasts
shit.
became superstars. NWA became known for their depiction of a crime-ridden LA, and Snoop Dogg became famous for a highly publicized criminal case as his debut album was about to drop. However, rap has quickly gained popularity around the world in the last 2 decades, and is now considered the most popular genre of music. This has led to a vast increase in new artists, and a newly emerging corporate interest in the genre. The result is simple: more artists who are constructing false personas to sell
Definitely
records. But
this
fake
nigga right here.
backstories are not a new phenomenon, and even some massively popular rappers have been exposed for faking
Her
parts of
nose
their
is
history.
crazy,
Before we get
bro.
started though, make sure you click the like button and subscribe
She
to
got
our
the
channel.
honker.
Now, here's 7 rappers who have lied about their past. Number 7, Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre is one of the most influential figures in hip-hop, serving as both a member and the main producer for NWA, releasing the highly acclaimed album The Chronic, and helping discover new acts such as Eminem. It's hard to dispute the imprint that Dr. Dre has left on the rap industry. However, that doesn't mean there aren't some parts of his history that are less than true. For the majority of his career, Dre has portrayed himself as a bona fide gangster, and rapped about many of the same experiences and criminal acts that his groupmates in NWA did. But the truth of the matter is that Dre came from a very different upbringing from the rest of the NWA. While members like Eazy-E were truly living the experience they rapped about, Dre grew up moving around California and attending suburban schools. When Dre dropped The
I didn't know
Chronic
about
in
all that.
1992, former NWA bandmate Eazy-E began a beef with him, claiming that he had fabricated most of his public image. As a result, E exposed Dre for his time in the group The Wrecking Crew. During this time, the group faced moderate
I
success,
know about this.
and Dre was often on stage in bright, glitter jumpsuits, and even sometimes sporting makeup. That's not the type of thing you'd expect from a gangster in Compton, is it? Number 6, Akon. Today, Akon is less known for his music and more known for his entrepreneurial and political efforts in Senegal. However, back in the early 2000s, Akon was a massive star with mainstream crossover appeal. Like many rappers, Akon claimed that he had come from a rough upbringing. Allegedly, the rapper had been the leader of a car theft ring, was eventually busted, and spent nearly 4.5 years in prison before reinventing himself as a rapper. However, the website The Smoking Gun, a gossip site
He's not even a rapper, he's an R&B singer.
access to the inside scoop, revealed a different truth about Akon in 2008. The Smoking Gun poured over hundreds of police files and found that while Akon did in fact have a criminal record, it was much less substantial than the rapper claimed. He had been nabbed a few times on guns and minor drug charges.
They gonna do that, then 50. They probably gonna put 50 Cent on this, cause he got shot like what, 9 times, some shit like that. They ain't really only got shot like 2 times. But I mean, bro, that's still crazy. He got shot.
And had once been arrested while in possession.
Hey, how many times you got shot? None.
BMW.
I'm happy I didn't get shot.
Was held
You feel
in
me?
a local jail for 5 months. But the charges were ultimately dropped and he was never convicted. As a result, it seems that most, if not all of Akon's criminal history was fabricated as part of a marketing stunt. His mistruths did not seem to hurt the rapper though.
Especially his
estimated to be worth a
record label, Convict Music.
Number 5, Pusha T. Pusha T has been in the mainstream of rap's consciousness for the last few years because of a highly publicized beef with Drake. Pusha has repeatedly targeted Drake, alleging him of acting harder than he really is, and famously hiding his son Adonis from the media.
His son is extremely white.
There's a chance that Pusha T is hiding some truths about himself. Pusha has long maintained that he spent time selling large amounts of narcotics. However, some sources insist that while Push did sell drugs, they were in much smaller quantities and in different areas than he claims. According to an interview with No
He
Malice on
definitely
Vlad
fabricated
TV,
that.
Pusha was supposedly the lowest rank in their operation, and it was in fact their older cousin who ran the operation. No Malice worked underneath their cousin, and Pusha worked under him. Additionally,
Damn, Marlins, why you giving up your brother like that? You feel me? Niggas is just giving it up. Like that's
his
fucked up, bro.
ex-manager and friend has gone on record and claimed that a majority of Push's verses about dealing were inspired or directly lifted from stories of his own life, and that he had just repurposed them for his own music. It is worth mentioning, though, that Push has cut ties with his ex-manager because he cooperated with law enforcement, so he does have a motive to cast doubt on the legitimacy of what Push raps about. Number 4, Tyga. For his entire
What he
career,
lied about?
Tyga has maintained that he grew up in Compton, California. A rough
Oh yeah, I heard
neighborhood
he
that
from the
has borne
suburbs.
some of hip-hop's biggest icons. And for the better part of Tyga's career, no one had any reason to assume that was anything but the
And his
truth.
cousin's
However, in
Travie McCoy.
2012, fans began to question the veracity of Tyga's backstory after TMZ found some dirt on the rapper. Somehow, the network had obtained footage from a never-aired MTV game show from 2008. The program was called Bustas, and pit wannabe rappers against each other in rounds of corny hip-hop trivia. Tyga appeared as one of the contestants and explained on air that he grew up in California Valley. He continued on to say, quote, "I had it easy growing up," detailing his life with a generous mom and his Range Rover. When confronted about this tape, Tyga initially claimed that the show had been recorded during a very short stint in his life, in which he really was living in the valley. But a few months later, during an interview, Tyga claimed that the entire show was scripted, and he followed along with the show's producers in hopes of fame. Fans, skeptical of Tyga's changing story, still debate about whether or not the rapper is really from Compton. To this day, nothing has been confirmed.
This nigga probably lived in Compton. He probably was born in Compton and then probably moved. Like, I mean, as simple as that is, bro. Like, it's a lot of that shit happens, bro. Your upbringing, you might get better. It's not like he's gangster. Not a gangster rapper. He rap about bitches and fucking bitches. So it's not really that much of a I mean, now if he never was born, never grew up in Compton, he just portrayed that. Yeah, it's like, all right, bro, what the fuck you doing? But like, if like it said, like from the beginning, like if he moved or whatever the case, and his parents is doing a little better in life, what's wrong with that? But I mean, I don't know.
Number 3, Rick Ross. Rick Ross' past is in the center of one of hip-hop's most infamous lies.
Definitely was gonna be
the
on
rapper
this.
who took his name from drug kingpin Freeway Rick Ross built his career around his image as a drug trafficking mafioso. However, in 2008, it was exposed that Ross has actually spent time working as a correctional officer in Miami.
Officer
Initially,
Ricky.
the accusation was nothing but a rumor on Media Takeout, a gossip website.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck around with 50
a website
Cent.
posted verified documents
He gets his
that
receipts.
proved Ross had in fact been employed by the South Florida Reception Center in Dade County. Ross, who has previously denied the rumors and refused to discuss them in interviews, finally admitted the documents were real in 2009. Ross maintained that, despite this, all of his lyrics were true. Ross would have been only 19 years old at the time of his employment at the South Florida Reception Center, and claimed that he used that time to make connections within the prison that would help him sell drugs. Though Ross has managed to have a successful and profitable career in spite of these revelations, he hasn't been able to escape completely unstained. Many hip-hop fans still believe that Ross fabricated his past, and many industry veterans, including 50 Cent, refuse to accept him as an authentic part of hip-hop culture.
I said 50 Cent is a bully.
Number 2, Eminem.
That nigga never
Eminem
give up
is
anything.
arguably one of the most famous rappers of all time. Over the past 2 decades, Eminem's
What he lied about?
autobiographical recount of his troubled childhood, poor upbringing, and strained relationship with his mother have resonated with millions of listeners. Fans of Eminem became initially familiar with the city of Detroit, Eminem's hometown and a frequent subject of his raps, along with 8 Mile Road, the economical and cultural dividing line between the affluent and white suburbs of Detroit and the rougher, poorer regions of the inner city. Through Eminem's body of work, he has become inextricably linked to the city of Detroit, but some Detroit natives maintain that
he was
Eminem
born
was
there,
never
right?
actually from Detroit, These sources assert that Marshall Mathers actually attended a school in Warren, a nearby town outside of Detroit, across county lines. Despite its proximity to 8 Mile Road, if this is true, then Eminem didn't grow up in Detroit at all. Additionally, Eminem was born in Missouri and spent much of his early childhood moving back and forth between Missouri and Michigan. There is definitely enough truth in Eminem's songs to give him a pass on this one. Even if he wasn't from Detroit, he definitely lived there for periods of his life. But he's not the native that some people may have thought he was. Number 1.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like it's another person where it's like he may not been there his whole life, but he's been there. Like 21 Savage, like nigga, he's born in what? Britain, British. He's like British or some shit like that. I don't know, but like it's like, nigga, if you like 9 and you move to another place, like if somebody is from LA, right? They was born in LA, but then they moved to New York at like 5, 6, and they be there their whole life. Bro, you think you don't remember anything about LA? Now, with Eminem, it might be a little different and you're back and forth, but it's like, they don't say about Mello when Mello is like, oh, I'm coming home. Nigga, Mello spent damn near his whole life in Baltimore. He was born in Brooklyn, though. So it's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
From the second he entered the music scene, 21 Savage began stirring up a buzz. His unique style of rap and his graphic, gritty depiction of his life as a gang member in Atlanta piqued the interest of many hip-hop fans looking for the next big trap rapper. However, despite his constant repping of Atlanta, the hip-hop industry was taken by complete surprise in 2019 when the federal government revealed a secret. 21 was not from Atlanta at all, but had actually grown up in the United Kingdom. After being unfairly detained by ICE, it was revealed that 21 had moved to the United States in the late 90s when he was just 8 years old.
Bruh, you think I'ma remember shit that happened at 8, bro? This nigga, me and 21 Savage the same age, bro. I was from fucking the UK and moved to New York in fucking 2000. You think I'm gonna remember anything that happened in UK? Maybe like brief little things. Nigga, I'm from New York. What the hell?
And had lived in Atlanta.
It's funny. I like the memes that they did. It was mad funny.
Overstayed his visa and was in violation of the law after receiving a felony drug charge in 2013. However, after an extended investigation, 21 was released from ICE's custody and his felony charge was dropped, leaving the rapper with a record free of any felonies. Because Savage moved to the US at such a young age, there's no reason to believe that the past he raps about, getting tied up with gang activity in and around Atlanta and Decatur, is anything but the truth.
Question that nigga if you want.
I can't blame him for not wanting to reveal the fact that he was from Great Britain. So, did any rappers on this list surprise you? If so, let me know in the comments section. And don't forget to click that like button and subscribe.
That's what happens when these little white kids from the suburbs be trying to joke about these niggas and shit. And it's like, nigga, alright, question if you want. Feel me? It's a knife on his forehead, bro. The fuck? Question 21 Savage if you want, nigga. That nigga gangster. I mean, he more conscious now and shit, which I love about him and shit. Cause you get older, bro, you start learning things about life and shit, and you become a man, bro. You feel me? But nigga, he from the hood, bro. That's just like with Ice Cube and shit. Like niggas think now because Ice Cube is like more of like conscious and shit and all that niggas like Don Lemon is arguing with him, like literally think he could beat him up, bro. Come on, my nigga. Come on. All right, yeah. That's another story for another day, bro. It's your boy Chill out of here, peace.